All right, we're back for another week of picks, week 8, and we're in person, baby.
Live from Los Angeles.
This is Two Average White Guys Have a Podcast. And we're in person. All right, well, let's kick this thing off. We got to hit the chat. Our boy Chardal's in here. Hey, he says, "Hey Ryan, really love your show, and you make some great content on your channel. Thank you, Chardal. Can I join your show with you and Cassidy? Because I also want to come on and share what my week 8 picks are."
They have to be good.
Yeah, Chardal comes with that heat. So he came to the game, the Warriors game, and kind of jinxed it because he turned 27. So Curry had 27 points for his birthday.
There you go.
Yeah. But if he was turning 30, they would have won the game.
Yeah.
Graves, Chardal, don't you have a channel to tell us your picks? Yeah, I think Chardal can't be contained by just one channel. MB22, you like that?
You like that?
Oh, God damn it, Kirk Cousins. you douche. All right. Well, we'll turn off the background music. All right, let's get into this thing. First game. Should we give a quick handicap on tonight's game?
What?
Should we give a quick handicap on tonight's game?
Isn't that what we're starting with?
Yeah, let's start with that.
Yeah.
Oh God, the line's already been steamed to 10.
Fuck.
Oh, the opportunity to get involved in this is over.
Yeah, but we're gonna have to get involved because it's Thursday.
Oh, we're gonna have to do it via.
You're not gonna bet the game tonight.
We're gonna have to do it via props.
I'll leave your house.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it. Okay, if Vita Vea doesn't play, maybe. Latavius touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely betting Latavius touchdown. Oh, dude, 10 points. It was 8. It was 8.5. It was 8.5.
I mean, so 71% of the cash is on the Bills, which is understandable. But what I saw, so only one game this season, the Bucks haven't scored 20 points. So knowing that, like, you'd think they would keep it within 10, but the Bills either have that like shitty games like they had against the Giants, or they blow teams out like they did against the Raiders. So there's no consistency on like what team they play and like if they're good or not, like how they play. Like I feel like the Bills control how the game goes. So fuck. I mean, I would go Bucks here. I like that 8.5, but 10 fucking points. I don't know. The one thing, it's going to be hard to go into Orchard Park and play it on any primetime game, but fading the public and getting 10 points, which besides like playing the Cardinals or playing the Giants, spreads usually don't get above 10 points, and getting 10 points with a team with a winning record seems a little crazy.
And after the Bills have like kind of laid a stinker 2 weeks in a row, I mean, I think you just have to believe. I mean, the primetime unders are 73% this year. I think there's only one play, and that play is Bucks in the under.
Yeah, I mean, 43 though for a team like the Bills and a team that scored 20 points in every single game. Like shit. I don't know what the weather's like, but I don't know. I'm not a big over-unders guy, but Vita Vea is like big. I know. I mean, it feels like every week Godwin's questionable, but that just shows he's not fully healthy, obviously. Baker's a little dinged up too. I read that this week. So, we'll see. Either way, like good Thursday night game. Line's moving like a bitch. I think the line might be moving, dude, because of Baker. Because I heard that injury is a little worse than people think.
Okay. Well, there's also a question about Josh Allen has like a little bit of a mystery injury. Yeah, I'm looking at the over-under opened at 42. This really just feels like everybody has just had a hard week of work and everyone's trying to get some action on this game, and everyone's betting. Now all the public money's coming in to bet on Bills, and it's pushed it to 10. I mean, that's an ungodly number.
It makes sense though. Like, when you do this, it's like, what am I going to not take the Bills at home or like take the shitty team on the road? Feels like a fucking like cute move to make, but 10 fucking points, dude. I don't know. Dude, something's still wrong with Josh Allen. Did he prove in the last 2 weeks or even 3 weeks that any of this is fixed? because I haven't seen it. Like, this is a great opportunity to get things right, but like, as much as it is the Bucks, pressure's kind of on a Thursday night. It's like primetime game. Everyone's watching. Everyone's waiting to see, like, are the Bills for real or not? And from what I've seen the last couple weeks, there's a lot of question marks.
Yeah, I actually like betting it. I don't have the option in my book, but like Bills not to make the playoffs. Juicy. Juicy with the way, I mean, the Jets, we'll get to that game later, but
I mean, what is like Dolphins Bills division odds right now? It's gotta be
think
pretty even, right?
Dolphins are like minus 140.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, with like a schedules, but hopefully they get things together. Defense, like, you think that's their strength, but like their defense is ranked worse than their offense
ever since Milano went out.
And dude, I had Gabe Davis on my fantasy team last year. Fuck that guy, dude. Like, he'll have like a couple 70-yard catches, like boost his stats, but just overall production consistency wise is not there.
So yeah, with all that said, neither of us have a best bet on this game.
No.
At most, a lean to the Bucks and the under for me.
Bucks and under. I like Bucks straight up. 10 points. Take that. They're 3-3. They're not a winning record, but both teams are pretty even against the spread. 67, that helps for a team on the road in Buffalo. It's not a super cold night, so yeah, I'll go Bucks.
Yep. So, and then as far as props, like getting after it, I'd say, I mean, I like Diggs in this game, and I like Latavius Murray touchdown.
Okay.
Those would be the two. MB22 says trap. Love a Bucks on under tease. Yes. This is, I think, a theme of this week is like there's going to be a lot of hold your nose, stinky ass plays that it's just going to be these dog shit teams, but it's like, no, you don't win just betting the obvious people. That said, if anybody got at the bounce back boys parlay when this number wasn't so crazy, I'm now feeling pretty good about that. Just another reminder: Bucks, Niners, even with Darnold, and Lions. That's the bounce back boys. Go 49ers, Shardall says. Hi, Cassidy.
What's up, bro?
How are you doing, Cassidy?
Damn.
Bills defense didn't look good against Pats last Sunday. I know. Mac Jones. You breathed life into Mac Jones. That's screwed up. What up, boys? We starting Mixon, Hunt, or James Cook tonight with no Vita Vea tonight. Full PPR, leaning Mixon for volume. No Vita intrigues me. Mixon. He's saying
Hunt against the Seahawks.
I'd just start James Cook. Yeah, start James Cook with no Vita Vea.
Mixon is guaranteed 17 carries, 56 yards.
Yeah.
The average carry 2.3 yards.
Yeah, Niners defense can be fire. Got Diggs already, and I hate playing on Thursday Night Football. I find that I like it when my Thursday Night Football fantasy player does poorly because it always flips, no matter what. Like, if you ever have a guy go off on Thursday and you feel confident, you always get screwed, and it usually works the other way as well.
Yeah, just going into the week with a 3-point fucking stinker.
Oh, Shardall says we missed the comment. Oh, he's saying, do you want to do a 49ers Bengals postgame show on your channel? Well, the problem is I'm going to be on with Larry probably for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And then after that, we're probably going to do, time permitting, we're probably going to just run through all the rest of the games. So probably not. I might do a Monday night Niners thing though. Is Gabe Davis going to pop off tonight? No. The over under 42. I mean, I don't know. I like Diggs. I just don't ever trust Gabe Davis. No. Kincaid also. I mean, I guess
isn't Knox is hurt, I think.
Yeah, if you're in PPR, like he'll get you 5 for 50. I should pick up Bailman. Can you block MB22 from the chat? He's creeping me out. What did he do?
He's fucking with him.
Oh. Okay, well, you know what? This game kind of boring from a betting perspective, but all right, let's move to what do we got? Rams Cowboys. One of the better games.
This is my best bet of the week. I was having lunch with Ryan today. I actually didn't see the spread on this game. My guess was Cowboys -3, and it's Cowboys -6. So I mean, usually I'm relatively close, 3 points, like no injuries here. Cowboys at home, they've kind of been playing well. It seems like a little bit of a let up spot. Rams, I feel like they're used to playing on the road because every one of their games is just on the road at home, like especially after last week. So, and I've heard Stafford say it, I've heard Herbert say it, it's like they train every single game is on the road because they don't necessarily have a home crowd for many games. They might have a few, like if they're playing, like maybe the Bengals or something. Some team does like travel very well, but the Cowboys, it's weird, right? Because they started off strong, then that Niners loss was huge, and then they rebounded after that. But it's like I haven't seen enough for them to get 6.5 points against the Rams, who the Rams have looked a lot better than people think. They have stayed in every game. I know that's a loser's mentality to say. They've stayed in every game. Their offense looks good, and I'm just waiting for that week for them to put like all the pieces together. I don't think they win, but I think they cover 6.5. And if this gets to 7, then I mean I'm already on it. Best bet of the week.
Yeah, I'm not going to touch this one just because. Well, we were talking at lunch. Really, I think my favorite bet of the week, although I'm not going to count it in the 5 best bets, is I think you play Rams plus 3.5 in the first half. That bet I feel great about because the Rams, what worries me about them is like they're like a 35-minute team. They're hanging in all of these games in the first half. Like probably should have been up versus the Niners, probably should have been up versus the Eagles. Some fuckery kept that from happening. Like they're hanging in all of these games. They were up versus the Steelers at halftime, but they're just not deep. And Stafford, I mean, the guy seems like he's already just taken a beating. And he seems to kind of fade at the end of these games. I just don't trust them to hold it all together for a full, complete game. I trust them for about 3/4. And so that being said, plus 3.5. I mean, for the Rams to be down 3 at halftime, that sounds very accurate. And then I could totally see the Cowboys maybe blowing it open in the second half with some, whatever they do, pick sixes and shit.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen Dak in the spot so many times, like Fox game of the week. Huge game, 2 big brands, and here he comes, just 2 fucking picks in the first half. I could easily see that happening, but the Cowboys defense will keep them in the game. And yeah, I don't think they're going to win because if the Cowboys get up in the second half, Rams start slowing down like they have every game. And then once that defense plays, when they have the lead, they could, pull away at the end. But, I agree. Like it'll stay closer than people think. And I don't think it's crazy to say that like the Rams keep it close with the Cowboys the whole game. Like usually when it's 6.5, 7 points, like, okay, it's going to be an easy win for the favorite here. And I just don't see that happening.
Oh, what the hell, Shardall? Let's go Cowboys. I'm going with the Cowboys winning over the Rams 45-17. Let's go Dak Prescott, FLA. Wow. Cowboys and Niners, baby. Shardall. The Shardall experience. I mean, honestly, the alt line.
That's not even fucking real.
I do think that, like, theoretically, the Cowboys are undervalued just because it seems like the last time we saw them was that Niner game. But, yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's move on to the next game. Vikings at Packers. -1.5.
How much did this line move?
So, yeah, we were saying on Sunday when we were doing our show, or was it, I don't remember if it was Sunday or Monday, but it was before the Monday night game. And we were doing a little guess the lines. And you asked me, and I guessed Minnesota -1, -2. And then it was just Packers -1.5.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's completely flipped ever since the Monday night game.
They hurt us, dude.
Yeah, this is a game I don't want to bet, but I wouldn't mind teasing the Packers. Get the Packers up to, this is a game you maybe tease the Packers and find another similar game. Like maybe tease the Packers and the Colts. Go through 4, 6, 7.
Dude, so on our first podcast, I had like the hottest take, and like I don't know where the fuck I heard it, and I think it was just all based on passer rating, but it was like the first 2 weeks, Jordan Love like statistically was like a top 4 quarterback in the NFL, got shat on for good reason. That guy fucking sucks, dude.
Oh.
And so there's a couple of teams in the NFL that it's just like painful to watch and they can't move the ball, and the Packers are right up there. So they're in Lambeau. It's a division game. It's a big game for them because they're 2-4. And if they have any hope left in the season, you're going to have to win this. But my feeling is like, do they believe in themselves at all? Like, do they believe in Jordan Love? Their coach for sure doesn't. I'll tell you that. But if it's really hard to win a football game, not that I fucking played in the NFL, but you got to assume it's pretty hard to win a game if you don't believe in your quarterback and if your coach doesn't. Like, your coach is not calling plays for him to get loose at all, and that can't allow him or does not allow him to get in a rhythm. So I would be very cautious betting the Packers here. I know the Vikings don't have Jefferson, but like, look how they looked last week against the Niners. I know that was a good spot for them at home. Like, the Niners are kind of looking at the Vikings like, oh, who really are they? However, I'm not going to bet on a team that is hard to watch. And it's not even that, because that's a personal opinion, but like moving the ball down the field. Like, I don't give me a 5-yard Dillon run, a little sweep route to Aaron Jones, and then a deep ball to Watson 15 yards over his head. Like, I'm not going to bet on that.
Yeah, it's the most concerning thing about the Packers for me is like they just don't have a running game. Like, Aaron Jones is back,
But it's
and
like,
it's
how with
just
them too?
I know it's like AJ Dillon's good for 40 yards a game. Yeah, that Christian Watson a little banged up. I don't know. If I had to bet this game, I think I would bet the Packers. Just they've been close in every game outside of the Detroit game, but the lines are wagging. So, yeah, so I'm staying away. Would you bet the Vikings here?
I like Vikings. It's not one of my top 5, but
Okay.
I like Vikings. I mean, here's the thing about the Vikings: they started 1-3,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the percentage rate making the playoffs in that spot is like 5%.
Yeah.
But I mean, dude, they believe like 3-4. If you go 4-4 in here, like, you're in a pretty good spot. And I know the Lions are like really heavy favorites in that division, but being 4-4 in the NFC, like, you have a chance, you have life. And I think this is a huge, huge game for them versus the Packers. It's like, do we even believe in ourselves to win? Like, yeah, it is the kind of the Packers season here, but I don't see it. And the Vikings, they look fine. I thought they would look fine without Jefferson. Like, they've done it before. Like, I don't know why, but Osborne seems to step up. So we'll see. I just, fuck the Packers.
It's also like, it's another example of like Justin Jefferson's best wide receiver in the league, but it's like he's, you take him off the team and maybe it's a 1-point downgrade. But like versus like you take Tyreek Hill off the Dolphins and all of a sudden that team becomes unbettable. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now that you look back at the Vikings schedule, I mean, I was hearing like all the super smart gambling people, like were saying that they had this Vikings team, even at 1-4, power rated higher than last year's Vikings team. And just they've shot themselves in the foot so many times. But now when you go back and look through their record, I mean, they lost to the Bucs by 3. I mean, not a great loss, but still, lost by 3, lost at Philly by 6. All of a sudden that looks pretty good. They lost to the Chargers by 4. Respectable. Beat the Panthers, lost to the Chiefs by 7, also respectable. And they were really in that game. That was the game when Jefferson actually came out. And then the game that kind of threw me off the freaking scent was the at Bears. 19-13 at the Bears. And then, of course, then they beat the Niners. So maybe they just are good. Baby.
Win against the Niners. And that's not a long travel at all to Green Bay.
No. Yeah, quietly the Bears defense is actually kind of getting better. But yeah, let's pop off that game. All right, Falcons at Titans. Just a disgusting game. I'm addicted to having the Falcons on one of my TVs. I'm addicted to it.
I mean, we just talk about them every week too. Fuck.
Oh my God. The over under 35.5.
Oh, that's gotta be maybe lowest of the year. Jesus Christ. I mean, we talk about the Falcons, so maybe we transition over the Titans here. So
dude, Chardall has the best takes.
55. Do we have Will Levis starting this week? We do, right?
Yeah. And he was like the worst quarterback in the preseason.
Yeah, so who knows about the preseason? Because like I heard Stenson Bennett was going to be good. Will Levis, so he went to Kentucky last year when I was watching him, like super strong arm. Kentucky, like this year and last year, it's like a sneaky SEC team that will like be 3 wins above 500 at the end of the year. The one thing I do like is like if you're in the SEC, you're playing NFL players every single week on defense, and he held his own against them. So coming off a bye too, like going into the spot, I don't hate it here. The Falcons do have a very good defense, like they've proven that over the first 6 games. But there is a thing that we see in the past, like with this Bears fucking QB. I always mispronounce his name, but like not having any film on anyone, him having 2 weeks worth of film, like just ready to go. Like if for some reason the confidence is there, who fucking knows? And like we're just waiting for the Falcons to get blown out, and it just hasn't happened yet. And like who knows, dude? Weird shit happens. Levis comes in, starts slinging the pill. I don't know. We could see potentially some weird shit happen, and anything could go on in this game. 35 though, that's as bad as it gets in the NFL, I think.
Dude, so there are some things pointing towards just saying ride the Falcons. They've been reliable. Take them. Will Levis looked terrible in the preseason. And then I think honestly, maybe the biggest factor is like them trading Kevin Byard basically indicates that they're somewhat punting on this season. Like this season's now about next year. If this was a couple of weeks ago and you were to tell me that the Titans at home off a bye as underdogs, like I'd be all over it. That said, I don't trust this Falcons team. I don't think that the Falcons should be the Falcons favored by 2.5 points on the road. No, thank you. If they were underdogs, okay. But this opened by 1, like they don't deserve to be 2.5 point favorites. Like I don't think I would bet the Falcons minus 2.5 versus on the road versus Carolina. Like I just wouldn't. I refuse. They don't have enough offense. They don't have a reliable enough offense. Ritter on the road, he's going to throw at least 2 picks. He's going to do some stupid shit. I don't know.
Not going to play Bijan again.
No.
They're also 2-5 against the spread. Like this is the worst team to bet on, and a team that just reappears every week. Maybe we're making them appear.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the case. And because I think the first week we were just like, fuck the Falcons, fuck this team. We both have Bijan in fantasy. Pitt sucks. London's overrated. And, honestly, looking at this roster now, they're just a quarterback away from being easily the best team in that division. Because think about it. They're like at the top of the division. I mean, the division's a fucking mess, obviously. We know that. Like, it's the NFC South. But the fact that they're on top of the division with Ritter shows how good their roster is. Like, I don't know if Arthur Smith is the answer coaching-wise. However, it is impressive that you are the best team in the division with Ritter at the helm.
Dude, they beat the Niners last year. I think Arthur Smith is a good coach. It's just he's tied himself so much.
The
to
weird
Ritter.
reactions like kind of get me, but that's like the worst thing to base a head coaching job off of.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, dude, on PFF, it's like Tannehill's rated a 72, which is like probably I would say a C+, C.
Solid. And
Ritter's a 49.2. Like this guy has been atrocious this year, and he's in his wins, he's just skated by. It has not been anything convincing. There's always been mistakes. And here's the thing is like at home, and because they have a great home crowd, and I think that is just not talked about that much, but you cannot skate by with these mistakes on the road. And Vrabel, like, I don't know. I never want to doubt that guy. He's kind of like Tomlin, especially coming off a bye, like home game. They're fully rested. This game's going to be physical as hell. Like the over-under is just kind of saying that number one, but maybe Henry just has one of his fucking games of 200 yards.
Oh, sorry. Give me 1 second. I just want to make sure, because I'm like, I haven't given a best bet yet. I want to make sure that I have my. Oh, dude, these lines are. I don't like all the lines are moving in the way that I wanted. 1, 2, 3.
What did the Titans get for him in that trade?
Nothing.
Like it wasn't worth it?
No, like a 6th round, linebacker, or like a 6th round pick and like some shitty linebacker.
I think that guy's rated pretty fucking high.
Kevin Byard?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like their 2nd best defensive player.
Damn. Yes, you want draft capital in the NFL, but Jesus Christ. I mean, you are 2-4 here. But dude, I mean, I think if the Falcons go 4-4, that's exactly where we thought they would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Vrabel off a bye at home. If this gets to 3, I don't know why.
Yeah, you have to take the Titans. So, do you have a best bet on this?
No best bet.
So, have you had your best bets yet?
I had my number 1 best bet,
which was
the Rams.
Rams,
but the other ones have not come up yet.
Okay, all right. Well, this is God. I'm gonna have to do it again. I'm going back to the Gardner Minshew well. Saints on the road at the Colts. Saints -1 it reminds me a little bit.
Money.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of the Falcons. Like the Saints at this point should not be favored on the road versus anybody that is not the Carolina Panthers. Like
Cardinals.
Maybe the Cardinals.
Maybe
I would take the Cardinals. Yeah, this line. Now, what is scary is the look ahead was Saints -5. Oh Jesus, that's a little scary. But yeah, I just the Colts are good. The Colts are good. The Colts boned me.
Lost last week.
They boned me versus when they were at Jacksonville. But now we're realizing that Jacksonville just is an awesome team. They just are. They did everything possible to lose that Browns game, and they still won it. They still won it against the spread. So this is a good spot. They've lost 2 in a row. They're still going to be max motivated. I think that people are starting to think that the Colts are a shitty team. So yeah, 100%. Give me the Colts. I think that this would be a great game as well to tease the Colts with the Packers. Tease the Colts and the Packers. There you go. So yeah, I mean, I don't have much of a handicap other than like the Saints suck and can't move the ball, and there's turmoil, and yeah.
We're gonna have to stop disrespecting teams at home that are good against the spread, aka the Colts and the Lions.
Yeah,
we all watched that Saints game last week. Did anyone watch Derek Carr last week? That was brutal. And tonight, what people should do, what's it called on Prime?
Prime Vision.
Yeah, Prime Vision. I don't know if it was that last week, because turning that on for Derek Carr was just like so eye-opening. That guy, and also on top of it, Taysom Hill is questionable. If Taysom Hill doesn't play, this is free, and I think it already is. Colts at home, free. Okay, how much, long week for the Saints? Okay, but a long week's not going to fix what Derek Carr has looked like. That guy was getting booed in the first quarter after going 3-and-out. That's how bad the offense has been.
Everyone
you're giving someone no leeway if you're booing in the first quarter. I mean, I would potentially be too. I didn't realize how tough the Saints fans were, because that was bad. He was getting booed the whole game. And also it's just like Olave, when he was running that route and Carr got pissed at him, he just shrugged him off. He doesn't give a fuck. Kamara doesn't look like he cares. No one believes in Derek Carr. And again, if you don't believe in your quarterback, where are you as a team?
Yes, Chardall.
Minshew scares me, because 2 weeks ago he had the shitty game. Last week he looked like that. I mean, they exploded last week in the first half. It was 3 touchdowns right away against a great defense in the Browns. But we got to stop disrespecting a team good against the spread, especially at home. And the Colts is shaky, but Derek Carr, man, the one thing that does scare me is when he was on the Raiders, for some fucking reason, he was always good against the Colts and in Indy. And I feel like weird trends like that continue to happen, but I would be so mad if Carr just has one of those weird games where he throws for 350, because that happens once every 5 times, and it's impossible to predict. But we'll see. Here's the thing: is the Raiders were dumb enough to let him loose and every single week and just be throw the ball sprayed around the field, versus the Saints are a smart enough franchise to be okay, we have to keep this guy under wraps because this is bad. And that's why he's checking the ball down so much, just because they don't have any trust in him, which is fair. But I don't see it. And here's the thing: even if I didn't like the Colts, I would not bet on the Saints, and I've made a rule to myself not to bet on them the rest of the year.
Yeah,
I can't do that again.
Like the Saints defense, sure, defense good, but let's just I think everyone still, there's such a hangover from the Sean Payton era. Like everyone still kind of assumes that it's like the Sean Payton, like because that's what they did. They just promoted Dennis Allen. They're still doing cute little Taysom Hill things. But it just ain't good this year. Just because they're the Saints doesn't mean they're good. Let's look at their games this year, really. I say we throw out that Patriots game, because that literally was like the Patriots had a midlife crisis game. That was like that was literally that was the rock bottom game. Complete, you have to just throw it out. It's such an outlier. And if we throw that game out, then this is what they've done this year. They lost to the Jaguars 31-24. They lost at the Texans 20-13. They lost home versus the Bucks 26-9. They lost at the Packers, who now look like shit, 18-17. They won a game, versus the Carolina Panthers 20-17 by 3 points. And then they won week 1 16-15 versus versus the Titans. So they don't have a good win all year. They don't. So unless you want to count that Patriots game, but I say we just throw that shit out. This Saints team is bad. And there's and everybody in the I think everybody's jobs are on the line, and Derek Carr
fucking defense.
Yeah, over fucking rated. The Colts actually have a pretty good defense. All right, so
that's questionable.
Yeah, I'm just telling myself that because of Buckner.
They have like a really bad defense.
Okay, let's go. Now we've got Dolphins at home -9.5. Bounce back spot for the Dolphins. Patriots historically terrible in Miami. You have any thoughts on this game? I just wouldn't touch this one personally.
Not a best bet. Tyreek is in. We assumed he would play, but like what you said is a great point. He is the most valuable player on offense on any team in the NFL. That's a non-quarterback. Are there MVP talks for you? Or should there be
for Tyreek?
It doesn't seem realistic. I mean, Vegas is telling us it isn't, but I saw something you tweeted last week, dude, where it was just like, why wouldn't McCaffrey and Tyreek at least be like top 7 in the MVP race? And I completely agree. And because if you think about it this year, it's like every year we always have a quarterback or 2 quarterbacks that have an extremely convincing case to win MVP, whether that's, Mahomes, Burrow, Josh Allen, someone like that. But it's like all of those guys this year don't, like, Burrow doesn't have a case. Josh Allen doesn't have a case. Mahomes is not played up to his potential, and he's not a clear favorite at all. And like, who has been the most important guy on an offense? It's been Tyreek. I don't even, like, you could maybe convince me Mahomes, but outside of that, like, what are even the odds? I don't know. It's interesting. And I don't know when the last time there's been a non-quarterback MVP. And I understand quarterback's the most like important position, but for them not to even be in the conversation just kind of pisses me off.
Yeah, I'm looking at McCaffrey's numbers right now, 600. So he's leading the league in rushing yards. He has 830. So how many games have they played? It's 5-2. So in 7 games, he has 830 all-purpose yards. So that's over 100 a game. Like 110 a game, and he has how many touchdowns? 3.
1 a game at least.
Yeah, he has 11 touchdowns.
Shit.
Like that's he has 11 touchdowns and like over 100 yards. Okay, and then
so let's look at
Tyreek. Tyreek, I think, has
Mahomes
900
plus
yards.
250, Tua plus 350, Hurts 500, Lamar 700, Josh Allen 1,200. So it looks like a 4-man race right now.
Okay, Tyreek Hill is averaging 900. He has 900 yards on the season, so he almost is 1,000-yard receiver. 7 games into the season, has 7 touchdowns. Yeah.
Like, where is he in any MVP? He's plus 4,000. Like, do you think if he continues on this pace, do you think he gets there? Like in any talks at all?
I mean, this is
if they make a run and he continues on this pace, he's got to be in a conversation.
He'd have to have 2,000 yards, which he probably will. He's going to have to this Kansas City standalone Germany game. If they win that and he has like a 2 TD game, Yeah, exactly. Who should be MVP and why is it Goff? People, I reinvested in Goff for MVP, 40-1. I still think the Lions are going to get the 1 seed in the NFC. It is only looking better now that the Niners have lost one, and now they're maybe playing without Brock Purdy. Probably are. Yeah, Goff will win MVP.
And so again, the Lions' schedule is easy as fuck. So right now they're 5-2, and then they have the Raiders this week win, Chargers win, Bears win, Packers win, Saints win, Bears win, Broncos win, Vikings, I'll give that a win, at Cowboys loss, Vikings.
Maybe let's say they split with the Vikings.
Split the Vikings.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think what wins were like maybe iffy. So Chargers. So they lose to the Chargers, they lose to the Cowboys, and they lose one against the Vikings.
That's 12-5.
Outside of that, I just have them beating the Bears, Packers, Saints, Bears again, Broncos, and Vikings once.
And they're going to show
that is not crazy to say at all.
No, and Goff is going to be cruising.
Yeah, because if you like get 4 or 5 wins in a row, those talks will start brewing. And dude, they still like easily have a shot at first in the NFC, because the Eagles schedule is brutal. Niners is iffy. Watch out for the fucking Seahawks. We'll talk about that later.
Yep.
Watch out.
MB22 says, Bailman, what would the line be for you to run a sub 5 40-yard dash?
No.
Plus 12 minus 15.
No. As
Again,
good of a chance as me, dude.
Just another opportunity to bring up Jake Bobo was like the number 1 wide receiver on the Seahawks last week. The guy ran a 4.99. Insanity.
Yeah, he's in shape.
Insanity.
Actually, you don't have to be too in shape for the 40, but no, Bailey, just take my word for it. I would say 5'5" would be right around there, depending on the weather.
Yeah, depending on the weather. The humidity.
What do you like in this game? Do you like anything?
No.
Yeah, so a stay away game is basically what we're saying here.
Yeah, stay away.
Stay away. All right, next we have
Jets on the road versus the Giants. Not even on the road.
They
minus
play at the
3
same stadium, not on the road.
-3.
So they're saying that this is a line I did not really understand either. So everyone knows they play at the same fucking stadium.
Yeah.
So basically, there's just going to be a different logo in the center of the field.
True.
So usually with a line, depending on home or away, it's about 1.5 to 2 points. So they're saying that the Giants are 3 points better than the Jets.
Oh, no. It's Jets -3.
Okay, Jesus Christ. I was going to say. So this line's pretty spot on.
It's tracking.
Yeah, I would say, Jets -3. Giants. So I think that Vegas wants you to bet on the Giants because the idiot fan will just be like, oh, Giants at home getting 3 points.
Giants have been looking good lately.
Yeah, Giants been looking good. Tyrod Taylor, though, puts you in a better spot to cover a spread. I'm not sure if winning a game is the right word, but covering a spread, a little bit better of a spot. That being said, Jets D is going to destroy this offense. Like if you don't have that big Saquon chunk play, you're going to have a long fucking night against the Jets D. But this is just the Battle of New York, 2 just pitiful franchises. I cannot talk with the hat on my head, but call it like you see it. This is bad. But here's the thing about the Jets. The Jets have life. We completely wrote them off for good reason, because when Zach Wilson came in at first, he looked like the worst quarterback in the league. But he's becoming serviceable, and they're 3-3. Like, you win this game and go to 4-3, it's a whole different season. Like 3 weeks ago, we completely wrote them off.
Oh, Rodgers is coming back. Yeah, I this is one of my best bets. Jets -3. I'm taking it, baby. Jets off a bye. This Giants team is still dog shit. Tyrod Taylor, I mean, at least he takes care of the ball and he can throw the occasional deep ball, maybe get Jalen Hyatt involved. But still, I mean, okay, they won last week. They put up 14 points versus the Commanders' dog shit defense at home. Held down to 9 points by the Bills' egregious offense. At the Dolphins. Dolphins have a shitty offense, good game script, 16 points. Home, 24-3. Yeah, they're not going to be able to score enough points. And Zach Wilson has looked surprisingly decent, even handicapping in that he's probably going to throw one pick or have some turnover. The Jets right here are max motivated. They beat the Eagles going into the bye. It's good vibes all around. This is how they went into the bye. They lost by 3 to the Chiefs. That's fire. Chiefs now look like the best team in the league. They beat the Broncos, just good dub.
Number 1 strength of schedule played this year.
And then, they had to go Bills, Cowboys, Patriots, Chiefs, Broncos, Eagles. Like, even if you had Aaron Rodgers, like winning 3 of those would be good. So they're going into this. They're feeling good. They're home basically. And Jets -3. Freaking.
I've been tracking this. So this is the 3rd week in a row public money has been on the fucking Giants, and they're 2-5 against the spread.
Yeah.
Like, Vegas is cleaning up on people betting on the Giants. I did it one week. Don't make the mistake.
Yeah, just last week was not about the Giants being good. It was about the Commanders being shitty as fuck and being super inconsistent. Okay, let's move on. Next game. This game is an interesting one. Jaguars on the road versus the 4-2 zombie Steelers.
Jags.
Was
this a playoff matchup last year or the year before?
Year before.
Yeah. Last year was Jags Chargers.
Yep. So Jags -2.5. Steelers, I guess you could say Tomlin, home underdogs. I don't know. The Steelers should not have won that fucking game last week. Still feel good about that -3, Ram -3.
Mm-hmm.
The Jags are just better than I expected. They've proven me wrong. I'm still kind of a Trevor Lawrence skeptic, but Jags are coming off of they beat the hell. They've this whole like London thing. I've been trying to use this in every fucking Jags handicap that, here comes the game where they're going to fuck up because the crazy schedule. Well, now they actually just had, 10 days off. They played Thursday night. They, are able to get acclimated. They're healthy. And this is a game that they should win. They're putting up, their offense has been good. Their defense all of a sudden is really good. I just can't believe that Kenny Pickett and the boys are going to put up points again versus this Jaguars team. I would say I'm definitely taking Jags -2.5, but I'm also scared of the zombie Steelers. It's not a best bet.
What's the zombie Steelers?
Dude, they're zombies. Like, you can't kill them. Even though they're shitty, they're so fucking shitty. They just really that Ravens game was like the epitome. And then this stupid game last week, like they just find a way to be decent. 9-8 at the end of the year, and we're still going to think that they're shitty.
4-2 is fucking wild.
And what is Kenny Pickett in PFF? Like 30?
Yeah, it's like 28.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. This attests to how good of a coach Tomlin is. Number 1, the stat alone that never had a losing season is unreal, but doing this with Kenny Pickett is, dude,
are they going to be 5-2?
5-2. This seems like such a trap too. Jags -2.5 on the road, and we've been waiting for the Jags not to cover. They're 5-2 against the spread. We've been sitting here waiting for this, but I don't. Oh man, I don't want to bet on the Steelers, but I think it's the week again to fade the Jags, and I'm probably going to lose it again. I don't like this game either way. Like, I looked at this without even looking at the spread. I was like, I know this is going to be a slight Jags favorite. I thought it was going to be a little less. Like, I thought it was going to be maybe 1.5, 2. But here's the thing about the Steelers is like Jags, what you're going to get at this point. I think they've shown that. Even in their losses, they've been pretty consistent on offense. But Steelers could have one of those games where they don't move the ball.
Yeah.
So I'll bet on this game. I'll bet the Jags. It's not like one of my best bets, but it's hard to root for a team that like some games, because Kenny Pickett, his passer rating is like around 70 the first 3 quarters, and for some reason it's like 90 something in the fourth. It's like, that is not a sustainable way to go about a game.
Does Tony Gonzalez's wife getting slammed by Jeff Bezos?
Yeah, right.
I did not know that. He is pretty HGH'd up now, but that's a downgrade. In this game,
mm-hmm.
it's just I would lean Jags, but it's not a best bet. Eagles at Commanders. Eagles -7. God.
What do we do with the Commanders? Like,
Uh,
who are they?
they're every other week.
So is this the week? They've already played the Eagles, right?
Yeah, they lost by 3 on the road at the Eagles. Let's see. I mean,
that just shows me the Eagles are going to stomp them.
Dude, but this is kind of a good spot because the Eagles have, who do they have? They have someone. Oh, they have home Cowboys.
So I recently, I don't know how I didn't put this together, but I kind of got on your train of anti-Eagles, but then I just figured out you want them to lose for the Niners in the NFC.
Yeah, absolutely.
So out of respect for myself, I think I need to stop fading the Eagles. Because every time I watch them, I'm just like, they're just a good team. They have weapons. They have a great offensive line. They can beat you in multiple ways by passing the ball and running the ball. They have playmakers on defense. They got a new safety. They're a win now team. I think it's just idiotic for me to keep fading them every week. I don't know. Like, and that they have that swagger about him too. I still hate Sirianni. I think he's a douche. But I gotta stop fading them. And this is probably one of the worst home crowds in the NFL, the Commanders. Julio Jones sucks. Julio Jones needed money, so he came back. But
yep.
The Commanders, it is every other week, and like division games usually tend to stay within a touchdown, but getting this down to 6.5 and I think the Eagles are going to run the ball down their fucking throat because they haven't had a game like that in a while where it's like 35 rushes, have 2 guys rushing for 100 yards. I could see that happening, but dude, my question is if this could hold up, if your offensive line could breathe, because I saw Kelsey with probably 5,000 pounds on him on one of the tush pushes. But considering that they get on, what do you think they get on average on that play?
3 yards.
What if you just did that all the way down the field?
I mean, they should do it versus the Commanders.
That's what I'm saying. It would fucking work all the way down the field. But
if they absolutely had to, like Super Bowl, like 1 drive to go.
That's what I'm saying. You want to keep the ball to like Mahomes' hand.
Yeah.
I would
an entire fourth quarter.
The dude, literally, like, keep the ball to Mahomes' hand and just push all the way down the fucking field. I'm still a little bit against it, but the one thing is like other teams have tried and can't do it. And if every team was doing it, but then that would be the same fucking thing. Every team's doing it, whatever, it's chill. But it just shows that their offensive line is better. And if you have a better offensive line, you win games. So, and they're winning games. But yeah, I'm going to stop disrespecting the Eagles. Part of my bias was my dad because he's so fucking annoying about the Eagles. But it's time to put some respect on the name. Definitely a top 3 team in the NFC. I think it's them, Lions, and Niners. I'll get behind the narrative and, say the Lions are better, but I truly, deeply down don't believe that.
Yeah, I'm actually going to double down on the Eagles. I've stayed away from betting against them. I'm adding a best bet this week. I'm going 6 again. I'm going to try and counteract because I had such a dog shit week last week. I went 2-4, really fucked up my record. I'm going to add another best bet, and it is Commanders +7. If we look at the Eagles schedule, what good teams have they played? What good wins do they have? They beat the Dolphins. Okay. That was a good win. 31-17. Now, the other playoff team that they played was the Jets. 20-14 loss. So they lost to the Jets. They beat the Dolphins. Okay. They played at the Rams. The Rams easily could have won that game. And the Rams are not making the playoffs. They barely squeak out an overtime victory at home versus the Commanders. They beat the shit out of the Buccaneers, who are dog shit. They barely beat the Vikings by 6. And then they barely beat the Patriots. If you remember that, literally Mac Jones was driving with a chance to win that game at the end of the game. So I still need to be convinced by the Eagles. Let's see if they can show up. I mean, obviously
we're gonna find out real quick here.
We are, and this is a look ahead spot. They have home Cowboys the following week, and then they have their bye. So in my eyes, they are circling this Cowboys game. They looked at the Commanders, whatever. They just think the Commanders are dog shit. So yeah, I'm taking.
That really backs my Rams bet because I think that's a huge look ahead. That's more of a look ahead game for the Cowboys.
Oh shit, you might be right.
That's more of a look ahead game for the Cowboys because at the end of the day, this is a division game. Division games really matter still.
Oh, you might be right on that.
Triple down on the Rams.
That does triple down. Well, yeah. So I'm adding commies +7.
All right,
Ryan, your pawn scum. All right, let's
ask him how the fucking Phillies did.
I mean, like Jalen Hurts, 9 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Couldn't be my quarterback.
He's an angry sports fan, dude. The Phillies just collapsed.
Yeah, I'm actually sorry about that.
Yeah, he was there too.
The snacks.
We've seen better days.
Okay, next game. Ugly game. Texans on the road, favored by 3 at the Panthers. Best bet, Carolina Panthers. This is the week, baby. I don't know if they pull off the W, but they are covering this spread. They finally handed play calling duties over to the other bro. Apparently, in preseason, he would do half of the games and then Reich would do the other half. And Reich did, suck dick just as he has this year. And the other guy, I guess, has like a lot more pre-snap motion, a lot more intricate stuff. And I just think that it's one of those things where they're coming out of the bye. Bryce Young can tell himself, you know what, this is a fresh start with a different offensive coordinator. If I look good in this game, then all of a sudden, let's just leave all that up, those other shitty games in the past. There's also the Stroud, factor, like, oh shit, we should have taken Stroud. So, it's going to be just max motivation. Give me the Carolina Panthers +3 at home. Lock it in.
You might be getting 3.5 now.
Really?
It's been moving a lot.
Ooh.
I like that more than 3. The one thing that's staring me in the face right now is Panthers are 0-6 and 0-5-1 against the spread. And their defense is ranked 29th and their offense is ranked 29th. That is rough.
It's rough.
That's rough.
But that's when this is like, this is the
better,
NFL.
Ritter or Bryce Young?
Ritter.
But who has Bryce Young been better than?
Not Andy Dalton.
No one.
I would say.
So this game's going to go 2 ways. Bryce Young's going to finally show up with a new play caller and play a pretty good game and they lose by 2. Or Bryce Young's going to hear all this noise because that is a huge factor in this game. It's like top 2 picks. This hasn't happened in like, I think 8 or 9 years. And I think it was Luck RG3. It was like how long ago that was. I don't know. That was last time this happened. It's a big deal. And Bryce Young's going to hear the noise like, wow, the draft's Stroud over you. So he's either going to try super hard and throw a bunch of fucking picks and make a complete fool of himself, or finally play a decent game. But even with a decent game, this Texans team is so much better. They're so much better. Their offense or their defense is ranked 12th. They have D'Amico Ryans, like he's defensive coordinator at the Niners. Best offseason coaching hire we've seen so far, at least from what I've seen. Panthers coming off a bye, but like there's a lot of shit they needed to fix. 3.5 is a much better spot than like 2.5, 3 where it opened. And there's something about taking home dogs. I would lean towards Texans here. But not a best bet. This game kind of screams coin flip a little bit, but things do change with a new play caller. Obviously, like your whole fucking offense is different, so that could change things. But this game is just very sketchy to me. But taking a team, with all that said, the Texans are still obviously middle of the road, and taking a middle of the road team with 3 points on the road is never the best idea in the world.
Yes. Yes, exactly. It's kind of like the Falcons.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Browns at Seahawks. Here's the problem, Andrew. We both loved this bet on Sunday. We both locked in this bet on Sunday when it was Seahawks -3. It's now 4. It opened 1.5. What are we to do? I don't know if I can put this in the best bet as if it's -4.
It's not in my best bet anymore.
Yeah, I think it's no longer a best bet. I love the Seahawks to win this game, but going from 3 to 4 is just too much for me.
I don't know, man. So I'm not sure if this line ever moved because of Deshaun,
No.
which is crazy. Like PJ Walker versus Deshaun Watson. So I heard this today, and I think I agree. Worst contract in the NFL currently is Deshaun Watson, $234 million guaranteed for a guy that doesn't even want to play. Honestly, I think you're in a better spot with PJ Walker because they actually like believe he fucking cares. Like Deshaun went out with a pussy ass concussion and just kind of starfish on the ground and called it a game. Maybe like a mini C's Bowl or something, but the Seahawks with a top, let's call it 6-7 quarterback, I think are a top 3 team in the league, talent wise.
Oh, are you saying like so
if
with
you
a better
plug
than
in,
Gmo?
if you plug in, like, let's take out fucking Mahomes. Like, say you plug in Tua, I think they're top 3 team in the league. They're so good in the secondary, so good on the offensive line. They're young.
Just got Frank Clark.
They have Witherspoon at corner. Their 2 tackles they just drafted last year are still solid. People weren't sure because after like rookie year, they were crazy. They're good again. They run the ball fucking well, like every Pete Carroll team does. They have absolute playmakers on the outside. Geno Smith is a B+ quarterback. That might be a stretch. A B quarterback. One of the toughest places to play in the league. This is going to be an ugly game. Ton of running. Smash mouth football, which I love. This might be close, but part of me still, man, is leaning towards like them winning by a touchdown.
Yeah, I know. I kind of feel that too. I mean, it just seems like the Browns had 2 pretty lucky wins in a row. They had that super emotional physical game versus the Niners, where obviously the Niners were extremely banged up after that game. They looked like shit versus the Vikings. The Browns got extremely banged up in that game. They looked like shit versus the Colts, allowed 38 to Minshew, still managed to pull it out of their ass. I think this is, they're still going to be a little bit banged up. If you look at their schedule, like it's just their team has been facing nothing but physical teams. It's home Bengals, at Steelers, home Titans, home Ravens, home Niners, on the road versus the Colts. And now they have to go fly all the way to Seattle. It's a perfect spot for the Seahawks, who, handled business versus the Cardinals. They had their bye. They shouldn't have lost that game versus the Bengals. And yeah, I think that I already put a bet on the Seahawks 4-1 to win the NFC West. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think it's closer to like a 40% chance than like a 4-1. Like that's just, I can't pass up that value. So yeah, Seahawks, I think they roll here.
So what do the Browns do best on offense?
Run the ball.
And Ford is doubtful and Hunt's questionable.
Yeah, Ford's doubtful, Hunt's questionable, no Nick Chubb. Like they're banged up. Like
Njoku's questionable.
They're super banged up.
Watson obviously out.
This feels like just they're okay to be,
they never go to Seattle. They've never experienced this shit.
Dude, they're okay being 4-3. Like it's okay.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
It's actually okay.
4-3 every fucking year. Should we talk about the Seahawks and maybe a future bet you have against your own team?
Oh yeah. That's what I took 4-1. It's just good value. I mean,
to win the division.
Yeah, it's just good value to win the division. I mean, they have the same
1 game back from the Niners right now.
Yeah, they're gonna win one of the Niners games.
Probably at home.
Probably at home.
Like, what are they right now? What's that spread? Seahawks at home.
Seahawks at home. Niners would be favored by
2.
No. I'm thinking because I think you still have to maybe give Seattle 2. No, I don't have the look ahead line, but I'm using my look ahead mind. The 2. Okay, so they're one of the rare teams where you give them 2 for home field. And then on a neutral,
Niners -2.
I think it's Niners -7.
What?
Yeah.
In Seattle?
Yeah. Oh no. Oh wow. That I was doing if it was home. In Seattle, I think it would be Niners 3.5.
Okay.
Maybe 4.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm praying the Niners aren't continuing to be dinged up. I think right now it'd be 2 without Debo, but
Yeah. And no Purdy, maybe.
Yeah, I love the Seahawks spot here. Browns are in the AFC, never really travel to an NFC crowd. It's going to be a nice, just gloomy fucking day in Seattle. They're going to go in there and get their shit stomped. Now that I'm talking about it more.
Absolutely.
And the Browns, yeah, they're comfortable being 4-3. I think they like themselves better in that spot. Like them being 5-2 would just be bizarre.
Too bizarre. No, them and the Steelers, bro. No. Okay, Chiefs at Broncos. I have no feeling on this game.
I have a great feeling.
You do? You're taking Chiefs -7?
What is the spread, dude?
It's Kansas City -7.
You think you would have guessed the spread was -7?
I mean, on the road, Broncos, Chiefs coming off a big win. Broncos defense has been not terrible lately. This game, they played this game like
26 ranked defense.
But they played this game. They held the Packers to.
Their offense is better than their defense. Their offense isn't good.
Dude, they held the Chiefs to 19 2 weeks ago. I guess.
Yeah. We saw it last week a little bit. And with the Chiefs, that their offense is starting to click. And every sign is leading to them against this Broncos defense to go in and take a shit on them. You don't know how much someone would have to pay me. I mean, obviously, would just have to pay for my bet to bet on the fucking Broncos only getting like +7.
Okay, maybe
a touchdown against the Chiefs.
Maybe
the Chiefs are going to run over them.
Maybe tease.
I mean, okay, here's my thing with teasers. When I'm talking about a spread, like 4 points sounds good either way. You know?
But no, I'm saying like you tease this down to money line.
That's even more free.
That's what I'm saying. Like that is free.
Yeah.
I just don't trust this Chiefs team likes to fuck around. They do. They didn't last week. They turned it on, but I've seen them fuck around too much.
Dude, it's a game of runs and they're hot. The Chiefs are gonna fucking shit on them.
Dude, look ahead spot. They're playing.
No look ahead.
Dude, they're going to Germany to play the Dolphins, and then they're playing the Eagles.
Well,
they have
either
a bye.
Way, Chiefs -7, and cash is on fucking Denver. Fade the public and get the Chiefs at a fucking touchdown.
Okay, you've talked me into it.
Fade the public, Chiefs at a touchdown against one of the worst defenses in the fucking league.
Okay, you've talked me into it, but I'm not making it a best bet.
All right.
But I agree. Now, talking of best bets, Ravens -9.5 at the Cardinals. This thing opened up at 6.5. Wait, no, it did not. This thing opened up at Ravens. Where is this stupid game? It opened at 7.5. It's all the way up to 9.5. 90% of the money, 90% of the cash, 90% of the tickets are on the Ravens. This is just the ultimate. The Ravens just had their big week. They got their big ESPN coverage, Lamar MVP, all that stuff. But how many times have we seen it this year? The Niners have their big win versus the Cowboys. Then they go and lose to the Browns on the road. What other big wins have happened? The Bills beat the Dolphins. Wow, I'm not making this point well. I had all of these things in my head. Dolphins, what have they done? Nothing. What happened with the Bills? Oh, yeah. That's what it is. Dolphins or Bills beat the hell out of the Dolphins. They're the toast of the town, best team in the league. Then they lose to the Jaguars. It's just this is the league. And yeah, we all jerked off Lamar for a week, and now it's time. I'm saying they're still going to win the game, but 9.5 points on the road at Arizona. I know it's like, how many more weeks can we say that the Cardinals are frisky? They're not that frisky anymore, but they're frisky enough to cover this. They are frisky enough to cover this. Now tell me why that spread is bigger than the Chiefs, Hunter. Yeah, I've been fully talked into the Chiefs line. And I also agree. I think it goes towards my point. I think Who would you on a neutral? Broncos, Cardinals on a neutral. What is the line? Broncos -1.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs are better than the Ravens. So theoretically, you're right. This Broncos line makes no sense. It makes literally negative sense because this is basically saying that the Ravens are a better team than the Chiefs, which is just not true. Yeah, well,
I mean, the only thing is like you could say that Arizona is an easier place to play, but it's not worth fucking 2.5 points.
Dude, the only thing
that's still showing, like I'm saying, like that's not a 2.5 point difference between like a place to play.
Dude, that Chiefs line is a little. It does whiff a little bit.
A little free.
It whiffs a little bit of vermin. There's vermin in that game. Well, yeah, not much else to say. That's my whole handicap.
That's a lot of points.
It's a lot of
points. This game's all about if the Cardinals can fucking put a second half together, right?
Yeah,
I would love them in a first half bet because they seem to stay with every team. Then like a team pulls away. The one thing, dude, is Lamar has looked good. He looks good. I think he should be top 3 for MVP right now.
He should be.
A bunch of players came out and just like, you don't fucking understand how hard it is to tackle Lamar. And I was watching all these highlights and it is just like mind blowing. Like his shifts in and out of the pocket, like even like Crosby was saying it, Bosa was saying it. It's like it's impossible to guard. And who do the Cardinals have on defense? But I agree, this is a classic just let up spot for the Ravens. This is a team. These teams don't play each other that often, which means weird shit happens. I'm not betting this because we think the Cardinals play hard. I'm over that narrative that went on for way too long. That was like the definition of a losing mentality. Like they play hard and they're still 3-4 against the spread. So like both sides are wrong to that argument because they've given up in second halves too. They just had one good game against the Cowboys.
True. Kind of like the Niners.
Yeah, I think 9.5 is too much. Too much, but I almost talked myself out of it. I don't like this game. I might stay away.
Yeah, in hindsight, that Lions, I mean, it just was a terrible spot. Like the record for like NFC teams facing the Lamar Ravens for the first time is like 1-17 or something crazy like that. Like he's just now this would actually point us in the direction of the Ravens here versus the Cardinals, but I think just the Cardinals being home. Yeah.
Are the Cardinals the worst team in the league?
No.
Panthers. Are they second worst?
Like I would think that the Cardinals maybe end up with a worse record. Well, except for they're going to bring Kyler back. Broncos.
So they're second worst.
Yeah, I guess they are second worst.
The Raiders are right around there.
Yeah, and then the Patriots.
But we're 3-4.
Okay, next game. So this game, like, I'm gonna like put an asterisk on this.
Second best bet of the week.
Bengals
with Darnold in.
Bengals at Niners. Here's the thing. This line was at 3.5 and it was creeping towards 3 yesterday. It was so close to being 3 yesterday. But now all of a sudden, video just surfaced of Brock Purdy practicing off to the side today. So now the line's moved up to Niners -4. I'm going to say when Purdy is announced out, which he will be, I will take that line. And that line will be 3. If it is still only 3.5, you know what? I'll be a man and I'll take it, but it's going to be 3. And when it is 3, I'm taking it. Now, if Brock Purdy somehow miraculously starts, then whatever. I'll take that line too. So basically just whatever this line is by game time, I'll be taking that line. And that will be one of my best bets. And I'm so in on the Niners this week, fully talked myself into it. Every level of the defense is pissed off. Nick Bosa is getting roasted, saying that he's playing like shit in a couple games. Said that, he's in his head. He's thinking about his rush packages, and he's not just like playing free because he was out during the preseason, so he didn't get to figure that shit out. But he realizes like he needs to be making big plays the way like Myles Garrett is, even when the defense doesn't show up, like he has to still be making big plays. Charvarius Ward is all butthurt because he got roasted by Addison a few times and obviously completely botched that play. Was thinking about the end zone, not thinking about catching the ball. And Fred Warner said this is a must win. He said they've got to win the grimy ones. Steve Wilkes' ass has been chewed out all week. Shanahan threw him under the bus. So the defense is going to come out and it's going to play its best with the bye coming in hot, the perfect time so they can leave it all out on the field. They need this dub. I think that the Bengals, it's a good spot for the Bengals too, but I actually like it more now that the motivational factor has really tipped in the direction of the Niners. And if Sam Darnold starts, Shanahan's just going to make it so he doesn't lose the game. He's going to probably flex. Shanahan likes these opportunities to like flex when he doesn't have his QB. He likes to drop all this shit to make everyone jizz about how great of a play caller he is. So yeah, I like the Niners. If it gets to 3, I love it. At 3.5, I still love it. 4 is a step too far with Sam Darnold, just on the outside chance that he completely melts down. But I think that it's just going to be a classic game, low scoring. They're going to possess the ball. And sorry, Bengals.
Second best bet of the week, Niners, even at 4. Couple things. So Darnold is the last 2 seasons, his first 3 games, he's 5-1 with a quarterback rating around 95 to 100. On top of it, like you mentioned,
wait, you're saying that the first 3 games of the season that he played?
First 3 games of the season, Darnold's 5-1 with around 100.
Oh, see, I didn't even know those stats, but I was throwing that out the other night when I was talking about it. I was like, Darnold is going to be good for 1 game, maybe 2 games. You give him a full season, he's going to start shitting down his leg. But I'm glad you have those stats to back it up.
And dude, Shanahan has made Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard look good. This is teeing up for a Shanahan just fucking masterpiece of a game. The Bengals D is not that good.
Yes, French.
Bengals D is bottom 10 in the league. And this is setting up for Shanahan just to put together a masterclass. Like McCaffrey's going to be back. Mason's going to be good. There's no, and the 79% of the cash is on the Bengals. Everyone's, oh, Darnold, this and that. All right, well, you are the same fucking people that say that Purdy's a system quarterback. Well, throw a quarterback in a fucking system that's working. It's going to fucking work still. Like, this guy knows what to call. He's not going to put Darnold under too much pressure. You're going to start the game with a bunch of short fucking 5-yard passes. And the difference between his and other teams is his short plays work, unlike the Patriots. Like, he opens up the field because they actually have a fucking run game. So their outside screenplay will work. The Bengals, it's weird because it's like the Bengals aren't favored to win, but everyone's like, oh, Bengals are in a good spot. Bengals are coming back. The Bengals still haven't shown me shit. They still haven't shown me shit. They have a bottom 10 defense. Their offense has been all over the place. They're going again, and no one's talking about it this week. It's all of it, and it always is around the Niners quarterback. What about the best defense in the NFL?
Yeah.
Against Burrow, and the best pass rush in the NFL. Maybe you can argue that, but one of the best pass rushes in the NFL.
Coming off their worst,
this Bengals offensive line.
Coming off the
Bengals
worst,
have no run game.
Yeah,
the Niners take care of this game easily.
Yeah, and they're coming off the worst defensive performance I really can remember in the Shanahan era when the Niners have been good. And so, like, a lot of people are blaming Steve Wilkes, the defensive coordinator, for that. Whatever. The D is going to show out this game. They're going to be max motivated. I fully buy into the idea that just like how the teams always seem to lose or at least lose against the spread after playing the Niners because they get beat up. That happened to they beat the hell out of the Browns. They beat them. I mean, they didn't win the game, but they beat them up. And you could see the vaunted Browns defense let up 38 points to the Gardner Minshew Colts and should have lost the game. Unfortunately, the same thing happened to the Niners because the Browns are so freaking physical as well. The Niners were were straight up flat. And it's, yeah. So I think Niners take cheeks.
Niners getting 23% of the cash at home.
Yeah.
I would take that.
Give it to me. Give me more. Give me more. Give me more. And the bounce back boys parlay, Niners, Bengals, Lions, run it. Okay, Bears.
Niners, Bengals.
Niners, Bills, Lions. Bears at the Chargers. Just Chargers minus 8.5. The most I could do is say, I guess maybe bet on the Bears and teabag, because at least the Bears defense has looked better. But just the Chargers, all they do is play close games. I don't trust them to win a game by double digits, even if it's the freaking Bears. And it's another Sunday night game, so it'll probably go under. Less points. Bears lose by 8.
The Chargers are 2-4.
Yeah, and they're getting 8.5.
They're 2-4.
They're 2-4.
By no means is this a best bet, but when are we gonna start talking about the Chargers like they're a fucking 2-4 team and 2-4 against the spread? This team's not good. Like the Raiders are fucking 3-4.
Dude, Eckler's banged up. Eckler splitting carries with Josh Kelly. I mean, Mike Williams, that seems like their offense has completely disappeared ever since Mike Williams went out.
And Quentin Johnson or whatever is not it.
Not doing shit. Josh Palmer was their leading receiver last week.
Yeah, like if you're going to rely on Everett as your second best option here, I don't know.
Sorry, boys.
Bears defense is pretty fucking shitty. I'm not even going to talk about the Chargers like home field shit. Like, okay, the Bears travel well, whatever. Again, the same thing as the Rams. I'll give them this. They're used to playing games like they're a road team. So I'm not even going to write that off as anything. Like, but with that, if you're not giving them, so I'd say the like home field's about even-ish. I'm not sure they're 8.5 points better than the Bears.
No,
I don't think they are. And I think this game goes way fucking under. I think the Chargers come out flat like they always fucking do. I'll take Bears first half game bet. I don't know if it's there. I like the Bears, but I really don't think the Chargers are 8.5 points better than the Bears, sitting at 2-4.
No,
I don't. So it's fucking unfortunate. This is a Sunday night game. Total bullshit.
Just total
like,
bullshit.
Even best fucking case, like Fields being good and the Chargers being good, I don't even know if this is a Sunday night game, dude. Because like the first, I think 10 weeks, these games are set. We can't flex in a game.
Yeah.
And this is just total bullshit.
Total bullshit.
Total bullshit. And like LA is not even a huge market either. Like this team has the least amount of fans in the fucking NFL besides that one Asian lady.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's move to Monday night real quick. I don't have any thoughts on the game other than the Lions are going to win, but 8 points is still a lot, even though they're at home versus the Raiders. Aiden O'Connell, is he going to go?
Yes.
Okay, so
Josh McDaniels, fuck you, you fat piece of shit.
Yeah,
I want them to get blown out so this fat fuck gets fired. It is fucking time, dude. Again, they've had some ugly losses. Last year, they lost to the Rams when Baker came, like flew into LA and beat them. They lost to the Jeff Saturday fucking Colts.
Oh.
And then they had that L last week against the Bears. And they got blown out by the Bears.
Yeah.
Blown out by the Bears.
By T-Bag, who had an ADOT of 2 yards down the field.
This is just absolute shit. And you know what? This is setting up for something fucking weird to happen. If I had no fucking bias and I'm going to somehow talk myself into this is going to be a close game, but this just comes down to people and myself are shocked that the Raiders are 3-4, but everything seems bad, and I hope they get fucking blown out so this fat piece of shit is done. This team has not scored 20 points yet, maybe scored 20 points once, and he's supposed to be some fucking mastermind on offense that was with Tom Brady, and clearly,
oh my god,
Bill
they've
Belichick
only scored.
And Tom Brady can't do shit. Or Bill Belichick and McDaniels can't do shit, and they've scored 21 points one fucking time this year.
And they've only scored 20 points one time, and and they only score, and it was only 21, and it was because of a safety at the end of the game. So the offense has only put up 19.
And Detroit is sneakily a great home crowd now.
Wagon.
The first time they've sold out tickets in like 10 years when they went to the playoffs with Stafford the one time. This is their first Monday night game I saw in like 4 or 5 years too. So that place is going to be fucking rocking.
Wagon.
So I would go Lions.
Lions
but
are
I still
a wagon.
fucking love the Raiders more than anything in the world. Love them.
Yep. But Lions are a wagon. Okay. Well, you know what? I think it's time for us to go watch this shitty Bills game.
It is.
Yeah. Good shit. Good shit. I think we might be doing an NBA preview tomorrow. So everyone like, subscribe. And with that, we out.